And we hot.
Back in the studio.
We actually got a memory card in the box over there. So maybe we're recording. Think we are.
Should be.
I'm gonna lay my phone over there so if it does vibrate, it won't sound so bad. What you been up to?
Sinuses.
Me too. First off, let me do that right now. Let me apologize. You're gonna hear me snort. You might even hear me blow my nose and cough. I've had a head cold all week.
And
actually longer than a week, because Monday was a week. And I finally broke down, went to the doctor in the snowstorm, the Alabama snowstorm of 2026. And they gave me some medicine. I can't pronounce what the antibiotic is. Something like Drixol or something. Starts with a D. I know that. And gave me some kind of pretty good cough medicine, which I didn't take before I came out here. But so everybody just overlooked my nasally sounding tonight. But I sound better than I did the last few days. I think you'd agree.
Yeah, and I was out in it all day yesterday out in the pollen, and I started getting some drainage last night, so I may have to clear my throat.
Of course, we got our new mattress. I don't know if anybody knows the mattress saga, but anyway, we got a new mattress, and I had not slept in the bed since Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yeah, that's what it was, I think. Can't remember. What, Tuesday or what? Yeah, because what is today? Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess. When did I tell you guys?
Tuesday's when you moved the mattress.
Okay, that's when it was. So, good God, it's the stink bugs in here. Where'd they come from?
They're everywhere.
Good God.
Them and those freaks.
I don't know how they get in here. This place is pretty tight. We FOMO'd it. We did everything. So anyway, hey, whatever. There's another look at me. I was like, squirrel. But anyway, she finally settled on a purple mattress. Is it called purple? Purple? It's purple box or something. Purple something. They got little cubes.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. But anyway, I slept on it. That was the first time I've been in the bed in like 3 nights. I've been up on the couch. The couch reclined, so it's like a recliner. I had to sleep up. I couldn't breathe. And of course, I had some issues at work and that kind of stuff, which is weighing on me. So I didn't sleep good. So Tuesday night, we got the new mattress, and then Wednesday morning when we got up, it was like, how'd you sleep? I said, I slept all night. I told you that new mattress to do it. I said, well, it could be because I hadn't slept 3 hours in 3 days, So I am kind of looking forward to being completely well and taking a night's sleep on it. I mean, it's not uncomfortable. I told her, I said, I feel like I'm in a hotel. Why? I said, it's not my mattress.
Right.
I'm not used to it yet. Because she bought all new sheets, all new bedding to go on top of. Everything is new. So I don't feel like I'm at home in my bed. But that's been my week.
Good week into it. You already forgot you got a new mattress and a bedspread.
Yeah. I did go down to the hunting camp this past week. Feel like a fool. I'm doing this homegrown habitat class State of Alabama's putting on, and I thought their field day was last Saturday. I mean, not a big deal, but I showed up, nobody's there, and I'm going, where is everybody? I mean, my God, where am I the first one today? Supposed to be setting up an hour ago. Reread my paper. It wasn't the 14th, it's the 21st. So I got to go. We're recording this early in our mid-March. Anyway, this coming weekend, I got to do that. And we're going to talk about all that when it's over, because that's pretty interesting. I'm going to try to get Isabella to come on the podcast with us.
That'd be cool.
We could talk all kinds. I mean, she's more than just habitat. She handles a lot of different stuff. So I'm going to talk to her Saturday about that. So this coming Saturday, I'm going down there, going to spend the field day with them. And then I'm going to ride on down to the hunting camp, I guess. Do a little more scouting. Had a couple more turkeys show up. That last spot me and you were at. Still just hens, no gobblers. And I'm going to go back up and listen on my place. I feel like I could probably hear one in the swamp on our club land. I hate to say that since I got club members listening to this, but that's a long way to ride, and I don't want to go out there, and it's a swamp. And it's warmed up, so the water moccasins are back out. I mean, there ain't no doubt Saturday. I wouldn't take a youth down in there, that's for sure, because the snakes will be out. But I'm going to go down, listen on my place. Last weekend I went down, did a little scouting. I planted some American chestnut trees that I grew from the babies. I've got 3 of them planted. Really thanks to you clearing out that one big long berm. I planted on each end of it at the wood lines. And then I went down to the second pile of brush you moved out, and I planted one right there.
Very good spot.
And I figured 3 of them, blight still will kill them, but they may make it 30 years. I don't know.
I doubt we do.
No, I'll be lucky to make it 3 years. Who knows? I don't know. But I want to plant some fruit trees. I don't know what to plant. I'm leaning toward pears because they hang on that tree longer. Plums and apples fall so early in Alabama. Well, even persimmons for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured them old hard pears, I really made for preserves. You know what I'm talking about?
Ones. Got that old grit in them. I love them things.
They're good to make jams and jellies and pear preserves out of.
Pear preserves, that's where it's at.
But they stay there. They're there in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about maybe planting 1 or 2 of them on each of the green fields just to have something out there. And I'll plant something else different too, but what was that they used to say? I heard it on Gamekeepers. The time to plant a tree was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But, if you hadn't done that, plant one tomorrow. So I'd have planted a few trees 30 years ago, but I sold my house.
Does Biologic, they do like the hybrid fruit trees where they'll produce fruit quicker?
I think they do. I'm going to give old Dudley a call.
Yeah.
And I want to get him on the podcast. But I'm going to give him a call. He's the one that told me I was waiting too late. I think I talked to him, I guess it was in Nashville, and asked him when the best time to plant.
Yeah, y'all were talking about those when I walked.
Yeah, and he said, man, you should have already had them planted. I thought it was way too early. I thought the freeze. And, that's kind of stupid because those trees grow in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
And, he said their roots would already be establishing. So anyway, I've got a big old container of water hid out in the woods over there so I can keep them watered when I go out. As we've had rain, so I'm not too worried about them this week, but I'll water them again, and then I'll carry the jug back to the camp, carry it back with me and set it back in the brush, and I can water them here and there. But, yeah, I walked all over. I don't have but a little 40-acre tract. Of course, I could have walked all over the forest if I wanted to, but found a few scratchings here and there. Never heard a turkey. I thought I heard one fly up Saturday evening, but I didn't have my Tetris, which I got my brand new Tetris. Got to call Troy with Tetra and thank him for doing something that I didn't think he'd be able to do. But big shout out to them. I love them. Once again, though, man, them leaves are going to kill me walking. I wish they had an off switch. That's the only thing they don't have, that I wish I could just turn them off when I didn't want them on. But the new and improved Alpha 2s, that's what I've got. Much smaller, long battery life. But anyway, I didn't have my Tetris with me, but I know I heard wings flapping. And after what I saw, I went back up there Sunday morning because I worked on my camper all day Saturday till almost fly up time. And got back up there. I just knew I'd hear one somewhere. I heard them during deer season, but I didn't find but one little old hen track. But I walked all my fields. I walked all that holler around and found those little scratchings here and there, and they weren't fresh. But there was some turkey sign. Would it be my first place to go? Probably not. Not unless this weekend when I go down and they're just half a dozen gobblers gobbling in my holler. I ain't got but one holler, but if that happened, yeah, I might load up and that's where I'd be the 25th. But on my way out, there's a road cuts through a piece of my property to get to another guy's, and I said, let me walk down that road. It was good sandy. I mean, right there in the road. Big old set of gobbler tracks, hen tracks. You see where he had been spinning around. I didn't see strut marks, but he was with hens. And then I followed the tracks, followed them all the way across the road. They went right up the road, right up into that hole where I parked, and went into I guess they went into the pines over there. I went through there and looking around, but so I'm over there listening, because I stayed over on the other side of the property all morning away from the truck, and the turkeys walked right by my little Samurai. So, but that was a promising sign.
Yeah.
You know, I'll probably end up down there unless something happens and you talk me and you going somewhere or doing something that weekend. But, or we can go down there. I don't care. It'd be fun, but I can't guarantee we'll even hear a bird gobble though. So, but that's, you know, I know for sure I'm going to hunt opening Wednesday. I don't know. I was going to take the whole week off, but I got stuff going on at work, and I just don't know if it'll be possible. I may can leave early and run up to my uncle's farm, hunt the evening time or something like that. I've had better luck up there, really in the afternoons anyway. Those turkeys, man, there's some big old hills at his place, hollers. But anyway, what do you got going?
I'm just getting ready for this Saturday. I'm going to take Grace on her first youth hunt.
First and last.
Be her first and last, yeah.
Because she's abandoned us like last year.
Well, she's
going to regret that when she finally kills a turkey.
She could legally hunt youth till April 18th next year.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, because she'll turn 16 April 18th, which she's done got her hunter's education and all that. So just be a matter of getting her license.
And that's something I got to do before I carry my grandson. I got to get him his hunter ID number, which ain't a big deal. I got to have his social security number. I'll get him all set up for that. Because that's a good tip for, of course, youth season will be long past by the time this comes out. But if you got a coming youth, you might as well arrest them. You cannot hunt them on your license. They have to, if they're hunting and you're hunting with them sitting with them on youth hunt, you cannot check their bird. They have to check it. That they don't have a hunting license, but they got to have that hunter ID number.
Yeah, Grace got hers
because conservation ID number is what we call it.
Buying her baiting license for 5-6 years.
Yeah, and that's true during deer season. Even if they don't have a hunting license, if you got a feeder out, they got to have a bait license.
Yep.
I think it's kind of crappy, but you know. And I heard a question the other day before we get into what we're going to talk about, but I heard a question the other day about, you know, if I carry my grandson turkey hunting or whatever, I just heard, I guess it was somebody from going to come from out of state. Do I have to have a hunting license? Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
In Alabama, I know Mississippi, and I feel like Georgia and Tennessee as well.
I think Illinois is the same way.
Yeah. If you participate in the hunt, I know in Alabama, you must have a license. And if you're sitting in a blind, you're participating. If you're walking in the woods with them, they got the gun, you're participating. If you're toting their stuff, you help them drag the deer out, you're participating.
If you're calling a bird.
If you're calling the bird for them, turkey hunting, you're for sure participating.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that goes for a friend. You can't call a friend in from Georgia and let him call for you or hunt with you. He's got to have a hunting license. So don't get caught like that. You know, if you go, I don't suggest breaking the law at all, because when you try to break the law, they will catch you, sooner or later. Anyway, tonight, this will be part 6 of our, turkey hunt, beginner turkey hunters, turkey hunting for beginners, which is really not for beginners, but we kind of directing it for beginners, intermediates, and long-time hunters. I learn things every time I listen to something or we talk about stuff. But tonight, part 6, we're going to talk calls. Now, we may not play the call. I think we're going to do one more where we'll demonstrate the different types of calls and calling scenarios and how you would set up, what you would do, and that kind of thing. But tonight, we're just going to talk about locator calls and turkey calls. How to use a locator call, when to use a locator call, And turkey calls, we'll talk about all the different kinds, and we probably won't hit them all because we sit here and wrote down a few more while we was talking. But they all do the same thing for the most part. Some of them are more specialized at different things. But anyway, if you want to get into it, I think we'll start with locator calls. What's your favorite locator call?
Owl call. I
think it's mine too. I used an old HS Strut little owl hooter, just hoo, 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 hoo.
Yeah.
Forever. They will gobble at them. Don't think they won't. They will. They work.
I run a little Primos like that.
So, yeah, I think I got a black one over there. I don't know if that one's got flute holes in it.
Yeah, that's the one I had has got the flute hole. Matter of fact, I gave it to my daughter.
So, but I had one I kept for God Almighty. I wore all the paint off of it, and then I lost it in Kentucky, and I'll never find it because that place got sold. I'll never get to go back and hunt it again. But an owl call, they make all kinds. Just what we was talking about. Just a little owl, the plain little owl hooter. It's just a little barrel type call with a spout sticking out of it. You just sit there and blow on it. Basically, you try to blow like a cadence. It's like, who cooks for you? Who cooks for you? That's what I think of when I'm doing it. They're like, woo, woo, woo. You can't laugh on it or that kind of thing. But most time, I mean, I've had as many turkeys gobble it as any locator call I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. Best thing too about an owl call is you get out there an hour of a morning or maybe even an evening you're roosting or whatever. A lot of times you get the local owls going and you can just quit.
Yeah, I mean
that happens.
There's no need to owl if the owls are owling.
No.
I mean, and to be honest, and I do it, and I'm sitting there telling you not to. Once that turkey gobbles, you may need to get him to gobble once or twice again to course him the right, like the first time you might go, man, he gobbled. Where was he? If you're standing there by yourself, now if there's two of you, you might not even know he's right there. That's where he gobbled from, over there a couple 100 yards. But you may have to owl again. And, that's right there at black dark, the sun just breaking good. Early season, when there ain't no leaves on the tree, it's really, you can hear those turkeys for a mile away. But we'll get into all that here in a minute, but what do they call the ones we use now? Like the Harrison. The
Harrison.
It's an owl hooter, but it's more of a, I don't know what you really got to use your lungs.
Yeah, you gotta use it.
You gotta really puff on that baby, back pressure and roll that tongue. But you can make owl sounds just like owls do. You can laugh on that thing if you practice enough. And we maybe our last part will be on the different sounds. We might just get that thing out and make a hoot. Maybe let you get away from the microphone. I'm sure it won't sound as good, but anyway, I don't know exactly what you would call it, but it's not the little barrel with a little spout on it. You got a blowing end of it. And it takes a little practice.
Yeah.
Takes a little practice, but they're not hard. Some of them are harder than others. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 of them right over there on my shelf that I'm not even putting in my thing. One of them, well, two of them I'm just keeping because one of them's the guy that painted the owls on there. What was his name?
Oh, the Brute Hoot.
Brute Hoot. Now, nothing says you can't buy a Brute Hoot and carry it with you. That's what they're built for.
Oh yeah.
But I've got a Harrison that I love. I think you're blowing a Harrison. You own several of them.
Yeah, Harrison Hooter.
Yeah. That's my go-to right now, and that's probably the one I'll stick with. But yeah, no matter which one you're using, you getting on that top of that ridge or the edge of the wood line or whatever you're at, where you can hear, I'd suggest getting in a place where you can hear pretty good. Don't don't stand in the wide open if there's nothing else, but especially in the early season. First off, he may gobble 50 yards from you. And if it's breaking light, it's hard. He's going to see you probably. Now, he don't know when he hears that hoot that's a human, but he's going to see movement or something. A little bit better as the leaves get out. And once you do that and you hear him gobble, the more you hear a turkey gobble, the more you can kind of, to me, you tell me if I can tell if he's facing me, facing away from me. He'll turn on the limb anyway and gobble, but same way on the ground once they hit the ground. But I have, and I'd still do, I may course that bird and say he's 250 yards across that holler or down that bottom. I may get in there 100 yards. I'm going to stop. Let me preface that. I'm going to stop by somewhere I can sit down, by a tree, by some cover or brush top. I ain't going to be standing out there in the middle of a creek or a wide open patch. And I may blow that owl call again. I ain't touching my turkey calls because I want to make sure I'm still on him. If I don't know exactly where he is, a lot of you may know exactly the tree they're in once then there ain't no need to blow it again, but I may blow it again and hopefully he'll gobble and go, oh yeah, I'm still 150 yards away, or I'm 100 yards, or yeah, he's right there. I need to sit down right here.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've got to work around. It may be plumb daylight before I can get where I need to go, but that's what I do. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah.
But now as the leaves start sprouting and our season opens so late now that we're already sprouting leaves, I'd say by the second, third week, we'll be full foliage out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been hunting early with no leaves, just remember that those leaves are going to muffle his gobble. He may sound like he's a half a mile away. He might not be 150 yards away because of all the leaves on the trees. But, and I take my owl call, and I know people like Shane Simpson. I've heard, Harold Knight say it, but they'll owl hoot. I owl hoot all day long. I hear owls hooting in the daytime. It's not like it's not as common as right at daylight. But,
yeah, I mean, they hoot during the day.
So I'll use it, but most times I use a crow call. A crow call, I'd much rather strike one with a crow call than taking out my box and hitting on a box call or yelping. Because when you get one to gobble at a yelp, when you're cutting or you're doing something, he's looking for a turkey. If you can shot gobble him with a crow call or an owl, he ain't thinking about a turkey. He just shot gobbled. So, but the crow call, it's good all day long. Still takes a little practice. You can blow on them. But if you get good, you can sound like a crow. And
sometimes in the mornings they might not gobble to an owl, but when the first crow that flies over, they hammer down.
Down.
That's what they want to hear is a crow. I mean,
it's weird.
I mean, we got those two last year, and we'd made some calls and stuff, hadn't heard nothing. That was mid-morning, and then all of a sudden a crow flew over and they gobbled. They wasn't that far from us, and every time you blow a crow call, they gobble. So, and
if that crow hadn't flew over, we may have boogered them birds.
We may walking because we were working.
We weren't far that from them.
Mm-mm.
But there's other kind of locator calls depending on where you're at. A woodpecker. I have used them. I've had one gobble to a woodpecker.
Me too. Not
quite as often as I would a crow or a owl, but it's something that's a smaller call. You can keep in your pocket. A hawk. You kind of make a hawk sound, but you can use a coyote call if you're out west where there's not any owls or some other part of the country. I see Shane Simpson, people like him, get on there, but they use a coyote howler in the early morning. Goose calls. Personally, I've never used a goose call for a locator, but I have heard a turkey gobble. Some of these resident geese that never leave might fly over, and they're always honking, and one will every now and then fire off. So, you know, if you're a goose hunter, you might want to throw it in your pocket because there's geese everywhere now. So,
Oh yeah,
but
they never leave.
Is there any other type of? That's all I've got jotted down. I would think that's your main locator calls.
I would say if you're going out to buy, it's your first year hunting, I'd want me some kind of owl and some kind of crow.
That's the two.
That's the two that I only carried for a long time. And then I told you an instance where we got in one more in a situation where they wouldn't gobble or nothing, and a woodpecker went off and they gobbled, and I went and bought a woodpecker right after that. And
you just never know what they want to hear,
no,
or what's going to set them off.
That one certain little sound.
I'm not saying they want to hear because you're shocking them. That's the whole thing. They're gobbling out of reflex. They're not gobbling at the crow or at the owl. There's just something genetically in them. You can slam a car door, blow a horn. They go gobble. It's crazy. Now, would I do that in my hunting woods? No, probably not. I have had the truck door accidentally slam on me when I was getting out, and I had one gobble about 75 yards away. And you know what? If I had happened, I'd have walked a half a mile down that road.
Yeah.
Where all I had to do was load my gun and go slip off in the woods. And I didn't kill that bird, but he had some lead shot in his butt because my old cousin killed him about 4 or 5 weeks later. And when we cleaned him, we found some lead in his butt because I was behind a hump of dirt. Well, you just got to hunt where you can. He was with about 6 hens, and I eased my head up over that hump to see. I could hear him drumming. I could hear him drumming and the hens, but I couldn't see nothing because of that hump. When I eased my head up over it, I know I counted at least 6 hens. I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him. And about that time, they saw me, and he took about 4 steps before he took to the air. And as he was sailing off, I put one at him. And I did hit him right in the butt, but it wasn't a mortal wound. It did him knock a feather out. I thought I just missed him. Apparently it didn't slow him down because he was killed with hens a month later.
Yeah.
So you just never know. But anyway, that's kind of my feelings on locator calls. I'm like you. If you're going to buy 2 calls, your first 2 needs to be an owl call. You don't have to start with a Harrison. You can buy one and practice with it. I wouldn't buy it and never blow it until I got in the woods. I'd start with one of those little HS struts or Nightingale or something with little barrel hooters. And, just who cooks for you? Who cooks for you? I mean, that's just basically what you want to be thinking or trying to blow out of your thing. Your crow call, it's just, you've heard, if you ain't heard a crow in your life, some people might not get up early enough to hear owls too much, but crows, if you can't ha, 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 or whatever, there's something wrong. And, or if you hadn't bought $100 crow call and it goes, ha, I mean, shout out to Robbie with Wind Talker. He got me fixed. But yeah, I had one that would do that. We had a good laugh. You had a good laugh. I wasn't having a good laugh that morning. Folks, he leaned over to me and goes, blow on that new crow call. Give it a blow. And it would not make a sound. The reed had slipped somehow in it. And anyway, I didn't know how to get it set. It would work every now and then. It was just, if I had spent so much money, it would still be off that holler in Illinois. I threw it off that hillside. And thank goodness. And I never bad mouth Mike Batty or Robbie. I shot him a text, and he immediately texted me back and he called me when he got home from work, because they're just like we are. Calls aren't their whole living. But he walked me through it, and I wish I had the call up here. I'd show you exactly what he showed me. And I can tell you what it was, but there ain't no need to go on to it on the podcast. But anyway, so, excuse me. I guess we'll move on to turkey calls, because there is a diverse amount. I don't know if just to run through them and then go back and kind of hit the highlights. What do you think?
Probably so.
All right. This is in no particular order, folks. I mean, I may... And you stop me if you want to input something in here during this thing. But I just jotted down And probably the first few I'm going to talk about is the ones that I'm most familiar with. And that's why I thought of them first. But a mouth yelper or diaphragm call. Now, lots of people, I would think that's probably, I would say probably the most popular call. There's probably more of them made per year than any other call because first off, you lose them. There's 100 different cuts, and we'll talk about cuts here in a minute. It's just basically an aluminum frame with latex stretched to a certain stretch. It could be 1 reed, 2 reeds, 3 reeds, 4 reeds.
Then you got latex and prophylactics.
Yeah. You got latex, you got prophylactic. Funny story is that most of those prophylactics were condoms.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no other way to get them. Not used ones now, people. Don't think about that like that. But we've heard the story from several different call makers, and that's where they get the prophylactic from. I don't think you can just buy it in sheets. They would go and buy boxes of non-lubricated condoms and cut them out. Anyway, and they're stretched, and there's, I don't know, you want to talk about different cuts? You want to come back to them?
We'll come back to the cut.
All right. So we got the mouth diaphragm call. Like I said, lots of people use them, takes lots of practice. Some people can't use them. They just gag them. My brother just gags. He wouldn't make a good man lover. I'll just leave it like that because he gags too much. Botch call. Man, when you say botch call, I don't know if I assume everybody here would know what a botch call is, but there is varied to me nearly as a mouth call. I mean, there's wood ones, there's different types of tops on the paddles. That's what you call the piece that plays on the call. Generally, you got to chalk them. There's different size box calls. Generally, the regular ones are just called a box call. Then there's a big one, a long one. They're called a long box. They're referred to as a long box. They're referred to as a paddle call. When I got introduced to the long box, the guy called it a paddle call, so I generally call it a paddle now. And it's because it's so long, it looks like a boat paddle. Matter of fact, I think if you got stuck out there in the woods, you was hunting core land and floated across, you could take that thing apart and paddle across the lake with it. Because they're at least a foot long.
Yeah.
Maybe longer, 14 inches. I mean, I don't know what the longest one would be.
No, because I've seen some a lot longer than the ones we have.
Oh, yeah. They come made in all kinds of woods, the tops, the boxes themselves. Here in the past few years, they've come out with some of these aluminum paddles or tops that plays. They're very raspy, super loud.
High-pitched.
A box call, you can make just about every turkey sound that's made on the box call. And we'll get back into that in a minute. We'll come back and hit all that. And if we run out of time, we'll make sounds with them when we're making sounds on part 7. Pot calls. Many people, and I heard a call maker talk about this today. He'll talk to a guy. He's building a custom call, and they'll call it a slate call. He said, if they talk, I want you to build me a slate call. I want this kind of wood. Da, 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 and don't forget to put the turkey feather in it. And he said, whoa. We've been talking about slate calls. Well, that's what they are. He said, no. They're, the real name of them is pot because slate is just one surface.
Right.
And, but that's what the original calls were made out of. Got one right over yonder, the old Loman call, first call I ever bought, paid money for in my life. Still sounds pretty good. I don't carry it anymore. I just got a birthday gift today from you. That was you had Christopher King build me a pot. That thing sounds sweet. What, that's Diamond Wood Striker you got with it? What is that? Yeah. That's what I thought it was. So it is sweet sounding. It's another one that'll be out in the woods with me this spring, along with, I don't know how many pot calls I've got, but I've got slate, I've got copper, I've got aluminum. God, how many different kinds is there? Crystal, glass. I don't know. The old yeller's a Slatec. I don't even know what that material is. Ceramic. I love a ceramic caul. I don't know what it is. It was probably my favorite of favorites until I played a Christopher King crystal. I don't know if there's a finer pot caul made. The slate sounds great. Now, don't get me wrong. We're legacy game calls through and through, but we collect calls and we use calls. People give us calls. So anyway, there's multiple surfaces, different types of soundboards. These custom calls, you can have them put your turkey feather in it. If you killed a special turkey, you can have you and your son holding a turkey, you and your buddy. You know, they can put the picture behind the glass and over the soundboard. But anyway, to me, I'm going to say it's my favorite call. I love my mouth calls, but I love my pot calls.
Yeah.
I can control, just me, I can control my purr or my yelp, my putt, my whatever. Can you do certain things? No, you can't do that bubble, what is it called? Bubble something?
Bubble cluck.
Bubble cluck. You can't bubble cluck on one. You ain't got a bubble cluck anyway, but anyway. So pot call's very versatile. I believe if I was a beginner turkey hunter, that's what I would buy. And there's the drawback to it is you got to use both hands. Need a striker. So you're holding a pot in one hand and a striker in the other. So anyway, but once that bird's coming, they ain't no need to be holding it and playing it. Don't believe everything you see on YouTube. They just making him gobble for the video. Your job is not to make him gobble 400 times. Your job is to kill the turkey. His job's to stay alive. Your job's to kill him. You don't have to call 500 times. Can you? Yeah. Have I? Oh, yeah. Sometimes I've called way too much. And you call at the wrong time too close. He knows you. He knows exactly where that sound come from and what is that lump laid against that tree. You know, so anyway, we'll get into that when we talk about calling a little bit later next episode or whatever. But pot calls. There's, like I said, originally was slate. You know, there's every kind of surface you can imagine to them. The tube call. A tube call takes practice. I've never carried one much. I've been playing with one. Got one laying out right here, one of the Legacies. They're made, the first tube call I ever saw, a guy gave me one. I wish I still had it. He made it out on no 35 millimeter film can, the little canister. You young guys that ain't never seen a film camera won't know what I'm talking about, but 35 millimeter film and cameras used to come in a little black round cylinder with a cap on it. And he took that thing and took that cap somehow. I think it was the cap. No, took the cap off. He cut the bottom out. And that's where he put his latex over. And that's what they are. They got a little piece of latex. You can take a rubber band or an O-ring. Most of the new ones are O-rings. Old days, they just took rubber bands. And the way it's set in there, I can't explain it because Strickland has a great 411 video out on how he blows on them. You can YouTube many different things. Just YouTube tube calls, and you'll see you can make all kinds of sounds. I can't, but I've seen them purr, yelp. I've seen, William with Legacy over there gobbling on his. So anyway, a tube call, very loud. It's a good call to shock one, or just get one to gobble back at you. Windy days. I don't know. Just, you ain't heard one. Just get on that thing. If you can cut as good as old Cuz Strickland or somebody like that, it's just so loud. I don't know if I would finish a turkey off with a tube call, maybe if I didn't have nothing else, of course, but I'm not good enough on one anyway. I'll stick with my pots, my yelpers, my mouth yelpers, that kind of thing. What else we got? Well, there's trough calls. They're kind of like a pot call. I've got 2 over there that I will never use. I may have put one in my bag though. I don't know how many of them I had. I was going to carry one. Generally they got a piece of slate, maybe aluminum. You can do trough calls. I've got a Odom I'm going to carry with me this year just to honor Mr. Odom. He passed away. I've had it forever. I regret not having him sign it. I've thought about him 100 times when I'm in Bessemer. I could have swung right by his house, but I never did it. He talked me into buying it. I don't know where I was at. I might have been at the outdoor place down there in Bessemer one day, but and it may not be. I was down that way, but they were selling his calls. It's a beautiful call. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I know we don't have video, so just Google up trough call. It's an easy call to play. I would think the easiest of easy, especially for a beginner, if you want to put something in your vest, you're not good with your box call yet, push button call.
Yep. There's some fantastic ones out there.
Oh my God. And they're killer. Mm-hmm. They will kill a turkey. You can push them with your finger, pull them back with your hand. You do have to use 2 hands most of the time. Some of them you can cup in one hand. Just use your finger and push on it, and you can yelp, you can purr, you can cut if you practice a little bit. You can make almost every turkey sound with it. You make every turkey sound you need with it. Mm-hmm. Super easy. A child, great. If you got a little kid, you want him to get into making turkey sounds, that is a call. I mean, and don't think it's a kid's call. It wasn't made for kids. That top call was made for adults, and many adults use it. Harold Knight uses it. David used them. Matter of fact, he had a tutorial. You can Google that up on YouTube, or go on YouTube and search David Hale push button call. And he just did this just probably right after NWTF or somewhere in that area. It's brand new, fresh.
I just watched a video today. I can never think of his name, the guy that owns Quaker.
Oh, you talking about Kirby?
Yeah, at NWTF, they done a really nice video of him running one of theirs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Chris Kirby.
Chris Kirby, yeah.
Yeah, his dad was Dick Kirby.
Yep. But I just watched that video today. That's why when you said that, it made me think of it.
So, now we'll talk about this maybe at the end when we finish all these other. We still got a bunch to go. I'm amazed at this. Let's see. We've covered all of those. I will talk about that one in a minute because it's kind of an oddball, but a wing bone, a trumpet call. They are not easy to learn to play. Some of them are designed a lot better than other ones. The trumpet's probably the easiest one to learn. I started building wing bones just because I want to know how to do it. I was told the Indians used them. I think my first trumpet type wing bone call, I was in my early 20s. He brought some cane home. I was working at Sanford University. I did some of their maintenance and stuff out there for them when I was a kid. And me and him sat down during lunch, and we cut that thing out and made a cane yupper out of it. And I see them for sale a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I should have another missed opportunity by old Anthony, but I could have been selling cane yuppers. But you can't consistently make a wing bone or a cane yupper like that sound identical. Everyone's its own unique thing. Different with trumpets to a point. These guys that build trumpets, they get them dialed in if they're using the same wood. And there's always a little bit of, I'd say even the wood ones probably might have a little difference in them. This one I got right here, this Townsend one I've just bought. It's made out of, what is that, acrylic?
Mm-hmm.
It's an acrylic call. made out of a mold, I guess. I mean, it's not, I don't think that's machined. I can see the seam down in it. I don't know how, maybe I'm wrong. If Clay Townsend's listens to this, which I doubt he does, but he can correct me if I'm wrong. I would think every one of these sounds almost identical. If I had yours and I had mine, I mean, it might not sound the same with you playing it.
Right.
But I'm saying if I broke this call and I went and bought another one just like it, it would probably sound just like it.
Close to it anyway, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thicknesses, all the tolerances are the same. Everything's the same on this because, you know, it's more of a mass-produced piece of, you know, I don't know. He might go in there and I notice he does something around the end right there. And that's,
I mean, they can turn acrylic, you know?
yeah, but I don't know if that, and maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe I'll message him and just ask him. Because I don't want to tell something wrong.
Right.
I'm just saying, I think these would have more of a common sound.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you lost your call and you had to go buy one real quick, might be true with mouth calls, but a lot of them don't. But no. Anyway, I'm still working, trying to master. I'll never master, but trying to, well, a trumpet and a wing bone, as far as air produced sound, is completely opposite because you suck on these.
And everything else you do, whether it be hoot or crow or
you're
or mouth
blowing
call,
everything. You're blowing.
Right.
Any other wind produced call, you blow.
I've seen a lot of people pick them up and blow into them.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are they doing? And I'm like, yeah.
Yep. And I can't say that I probably did the same thing the first time I ever saw one. And back in the day, you just picked them up, stuck them in your mouth. Nobody thought, you know.
Wouldn't you almost feel like, too, that there's some kind of like a sound device in there? But when you look through it, you can look all the way through it.
Well, I mean, it's like a wing bone.
Right.
I mean, you're vibrating with your lip. You're just basically like you're kissing.
And there's
so
many variations of using one of them, too.
There's different cuts on the mouth. And I saw a big debate on a custom call page I'm on that about the different way the mouth thing's made, and some makes better calls, and these masters will look at them and say, no, that's a bunch of crap, you know.
Some of them's round, some of them's egg-shaped.
They got a V cut in them now, and there's all
brass.
Listen, these things get as technical as you can get. I'm telling the beginner guy, you probably don't need to worry about a trumpet your first season or two.
Get your first turkey, make you a wing bone.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. That's why I got into making wing bone calls. They're easy to make, and maybe we'll do that one day. We'll just have we'll talk about, well, we can do that. And we'll do a podcast just how to do your fan, what to do your feet and spurs, how to make a wing bone call. So yeah, we can do that. But sorry about that. You just took my trumpet and just beat my microphone with it. I was trying to put it on the table. But so the trumpets and wing bones, if you don't know what we're talking about, just Google it. YouTube it, you'll hear it, see it. Don't think you can sound like some of them guys, man. There's some people. I saw a guy gobble on a trumpet.
Yeah.
How in the world do you gobble?
I watched him do it.
I watched a guy purr on a trumpet.
Kiki, everything.
I don't know how. I can't even barely make a yelp.
It's crazy.
But some are there. They can do it. Peg call. Me and you know what a peg call is. You want to try to explain what it is? You can look at it over there. That's an antique.
It's usually a small piece that would go down in the palm of your hand that's got some kind of playing surface in it, a slate
little piece of wood box, maybe a plastic box.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
could be. For the biggest part of it, most of them's wood.
But the striker, which we hadn't talked about strikers, and we will here in just a second. We'll go back to pot calls, but the little striker, I guess because it's so short, it looks like a little peg, just barely.
Well, and it also makes quieter sounds for like your soft stuff.
Little tree yelps and that kind of thing. Yeah. And we're, like I said, next episode, we're going to talk about all these different types of calls, when to use them, how to use them.
We'll try our best to demonstrate.
We'll try to demonstrate them, but
you ain't gonna get no Dave Owens. No,
you ain't
Mark Perdone.
No,
you just gonna get what you get.
All you get is somebody that knows we can kill turkeys. But let me tell you something. You ain't got to sound like them guys to kill a turkey. when you hear a hen turkey out in the woods yelping, you'll go, my God, I sound better than that.
Or you think it's some old boy on the next ridge.
They're going, I did. I've done that many times. Like somebody was down there in the woods calling.
But how many times have you sat there and watched that hen? She's right out in front of you doing this. And it's some of the craziest. They ain't no cadence. There's no rhyme or reason why she's throwing in all kind of stuff. And you're just going, God, and I thought I'm supposed to just be doing these clean yelps or these 3-note yelps.
You know, and I know we're getting off subject a little bit, but like the old timers, they didn't know too much. It was like call, make 3 yelps, lay that call down for 20, 30 minutes.
20 minutes, set a clock.
I mean, I have never looked at my watch, or nowadays my phone, hear a hen yelp and go, all right, 3, 2, 1. It's been 15 minutes. Oh, there she did it. You know.
You remember the when we hunted Florida the last time? You remember that hen I had? I just kept seeing you like I said. This hen, she didn't shut up for 2 hours.
I mean,
I had the best decoy there.
Well, I was going to say that's the best decoy and live calling you can ask for.
She was calling all the little boys to the floor.
Nothing was close enough, huh? You didn't hear no gobble to her, did you?
I killed him.
Oh,
and then
was that?
And then
Josie?
2 more come behind me.
Was that Josie Wells?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then the other 2 was headed to her too, but they come on.
Is that the ones I missed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I still ain't figured that out. I'd like to have that on video to figure and put it in slow mo to figure out what actually happened.
I can tell you, I just honestly believe I put the gun on my shoulder and I never put my head down. I don't think I ever looked at the dot.
Just one of them things.
That turkey was dead in my mind. I knew exactly when I was going to kill it. And when it did, it wasn't like I hit the trigger by accident.
Right.
I know I didn't do that. I just never aimed.
I maybe should have went back over there and inspected the trees and made sure you didn't pull the dust and then go, I ain't telling him about this crap.
I was sitting right there. It's wide open woods.
I smoked the tree.
Big, I can still see them, them big old live oaks or whatever they are down there in them swamps in Florida, South Florida. And there's a gap about 10 yards wide or maybe a little wider. And I said, when that turkey crosses that first tree and gets in the middle of that gap, I'm killing it. Whichever one, because they were twins.
Right, yeah. And they were both nice birds.
So when it stepped out and took 3 steps into that, I pulled the trigger. And it was like, first off, it really didn't run. I'm sitting there going, why ain't you flopping?
Yeah.
And, it's kind of like, what happened? And then they take off run. They didn't even fly. Neither one of them. They ran back towards you, but turned and went across that road. Out toward that field where we should have killed some if decoys hadn't been put out. But I ain't gonna go into that.
Good times.
That was my
good times.
Second trips of a lifetime. These are memories that, like I said before, you'll remember more the ones you didn't get than the ones you killed. I can't tell you about every one of those beards. Maybe people can. I can't tell you about all 50 turkeys I've killed, or I don't know how many I've killed. I don't really keep up with the numbers, but I can tell you about the close calls, the ones I missed, the ones I moved,
the ones we screwed up, huh?
The ones the tree got shot. It's just you'll remember them kind. But anyway, there is a peg call, and you can Google or YouTube it. I don't think they're as popular today, and you know what? Trumpets came in style, went out of style. They're back in style.
Tube calls. Tubes and trumpets is the hottest thing right now.
I mean, don't think they're new.
No.
These have been around forever, people. It's just they're the hot commodity. All these young guns are trying. I think everybody wants to go back in time and do it like the old timers did it. So
like vintage camo, it just comes back.
Yeah, this. I wish I'd kept all my camo. I pay for my turkey hunts with a lot of it. But let's see what else. What else have I got down here? Well, I don't know if I can explain it, but a tongue call. I had never heard of a tongue call until back this winter. I got a turkey call magazine. I belong to the NWTF, but I belong to Turkeys for Tomorrow too. So, but NWTF sends out a quarterly magazine, and in that magazine, they were talking about these old time calls. So they had done a story on these calls years and years ago and used some of those pictures. and it's called a tongue call. And there's some different designs to them, but just imagine a square box with a wooden top on it, and they have took and basically cut out the shape of a tongue in it. So a big giant U is still connected to the wood. And then you use a striker, you'll chalk it just like you would a box call. And you take that striker, you can find a sweet spot on that thing and you call with it. And I had to have one. I just had to have one. I just wanted it, if nothing else, for my collection.
Right.
And lo and behold, I hadn't really had time, and I wouldn't have had time to walk all the tables and look. And there may have been some in Nashville this year. I didn't see any. But we had that fella from Washington State. He walked up there, and he had two with him.
2 or 3, yeah.
And he come back, though, with some more. Anyway, I ended up buying 2. I think you bought 1.
Mm-hmm.
Very reasonably priced. I mean, they're not beautiful calls. They're not artwork by no means. But to me, it's the essence of a call. I mean, it's just, I don't know. There's something about it that I love. And I've skipped one I'm looking at that I'm going to talk about. It's probably more popular than a tube call. But anyway, but the tongue call, maybe get on the NWTS webpage and you can type in tongue call, probably pull up that article.
You can Google those.
You can Google them.
I looked at some there's some
beautiful.
All different variations.
Yeah, I mean, they cut them sometimes like a arrowhead on them and
diamond.
Yeah, there's all kinds of shapes to them, but the basic concept is the tongue. So anyway, that's way out there. You don't need that one at all. You beginners, guys that collect them, or guys that just want to use something different.
Different sound.
Okay, the one I forgot, I didn't write down, scratch box.
Oh, I thought you had mentioned it, yeah.
No, I did not mention scratch boxes.
They've killed a lot of birds.
They have a unique way to play them. They're varied in different ways they're made. I looked at one today that that boy that works with me, Johnny, he had bought one. I think he paid like $10 for it. It's beautiful. I'm going to buy one. Or I'm going to have him pick me up one. I don't know what he had done to his. It was chalked and everything. You couldn't make it make a sound. I didn't like the piece of wood. I don't know how to explain it. It's a slender wooden box. It'll be hollowed out, and it's got kind of like a box call, but really miniature version. And then instead of a paddle, you got a little piece of wood, and you'll chalk it. And the way you drag it across those 2 pieces of wood, you can yelp, you can purr, you can cluck. You can do almost anything with it. Different ones sound different, just like every call sounds a little different. But I love them just for what they are. Like I said, they're varied. Different ones make one. My daughter bought me one from Jack Daniels, and I've lost it. I don't know where it went. It was in the house, brand new one, but I had it in there sitting on the chair or on the table, and I don't know what happened to it. Maybe move the couch one day and find it. I don't know. We've got that one call up there that's made out of petrified wood. It's basically I don't know what you call it. It's just kind of a hybrid to me. I mean, I ain't going to call it hybrid. It's not like that, but it's just a wooden box with I don't know what that playing surface is made out of. Is that?
The playing surface is petrified wood.
Well, what's
on there?
Is that not, what kind of wood is that it's in? It's very light. I'm afraid I'll break it.
I can't remember what the wood is, but that's actually petrified wood.
Petrified wood is the playing surface. Yeah. Okay.
It's a really nice little box.
Oh, yeah.
AM calls.
I've got one up there you got me made out of a turtle shell. You can't see it because of the way it's laying back over there, but it's too pretty to carry. I mean, it's more decorative to me. If I could walk out here in the backyard and hunt, I might carry it out there, but I'm not going to tote it all over.
It's got a wing bone striker with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just amazing, at the different ones. And like I said, they're just all varied. I know we've missed some. There's old calls that they might not even make anymore. There's a very old call, almost like a push button. That's an old Ben Lee call back there.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a dang guillotine nearly. It's on a spring, and you just run it up and down to there, and it yelps.
There's probably calls that me and you ain't even seen.
Oh, I'd never seen the tongue call until I read that article. So I don't know. I mean, it's just there's so many different calls. You know, but for the first time hunters or new hunters or people that might have hunted last year and didn't know what they was doing, or a couple of years, I would say get you a crow call and an owl hooter. You need to make sure you got them. Good early morning, good midday, when you're just, you walk out there after lunch, you didn't have time, you going to get out there and hunt the afternoon if it's legal where you can hunt, where you hunt. Blow on that crow call. I've had them gobble to it. And if you get them to gobble in the middle of the day, I'd say 7 out of 10 times you'll probably kill that turkey. Especially once you yelp at him, he gobbles at you. Because usually midday, the hens, especially when they're laying, they drift away. So they're looking for love. Personally, I think, the go-to for a beginner should be a pot call of some kind. That's just you may think different. A mouth call just takes practice. That's something you'll drive your wife or your boyfriend crazy or whatever. I practice in the truck to and from work. I had got to practice this week because I've been all stopped up like I am now. But I'd have that. Maybe a box call. I'd say you might get an old Lynch foolproof. They don't cost a lot of money. You can still buy them at Walmart or somewhere. I'm not going to, well, if you're going to buy your first time pot call, I'd go to Legacy and I'd buy that, what's it called?
Misleading. Glass or slate.
Yeah. I'd get the glass.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more forgiving, and moisture don't bother it as much as slate. You got to be careful with slate because moisture can affect them. But I'd order me one of them for what you get and the money.
And the lifetime warranty.
Lifetime warranty. Now, we didn't talk strikers. You want to talk strikers before we finish this up?
Well, we can.
Oh, my God. Let me tell you what. A striker, and they're mainly used on pot calls, but we use them on tongue calls. You use them on the trough calls. But they're generally 99.9% of the time people are using a striker. A striker will come with your pot call. But they make all kinds of strikers out of all kinds of wood, all kinds of
shape,
sounds. There's plastic ones. I've got a plastic one over there I love. I've got well, I've lost it, but I had one made out of a clear acrylic. I loved it.
I've got one of those.
They make them.
One that they say sounds pretty good, and I believe it or not, I don't know one. I don't know if you do, but they say a deer antler.
I do not
striker
have one.
Really sounds good.
I don't have one of those.
Never owned one.
No.
Maybe some, because we're starting to get plenty of calls. I think I'm leaning toward more strikers. I can put them in a cup, display them, and because we're out of room on the shelves.
I don't know what I'm going to do. We should have took this wall across from us and just turned it into a solid turkey call thing. And no, we shouldn't have, because I'd went buying calls to fill it up. But I do have more calls than I can put over there on that shelf.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do something with some of those ammo boxes to make room for some stuff. It's thinner right now because I filled up my call bag.
Right.
So.
Well, that's something I noticed. I put a lot of pot call holders in this new one I built, but if the ones were out of my vest, I don't have enough room.
Yeah.
Already.
And I would tell somebody, if you're going to go buy you a striker, and I carry 2 pot calls and 6, 7, 8 strikers, because every striker will sound different on that pot call. Some might sound the same, but if you got enough of them, you can, that one pot call can sound like 5 different turkeys.
Mm-hmm.
And you may play it, nothing gobbles at you. You whip out a different striker 2 or 3 different times, and the third one, all of a sudden, he gobbles at you. That's the sound he wanted to hear.
Well, you may run a cedar striker and do some of your light calling, and then you're moving down the ridge, and you want to strike one, you get a purple heart or a diamond wood or something a little harder wood on the gentle
And I
scale.
think I would, if you're going to go buy one, go ahead and put you a diamond wood one.
On the list.
That's one to have. they're getting harder and harder to find. The diamond wood's not really it's a laminate wood. It's not a diamond wood tree or anything, not like snake wood or osage or that kind of stuff. But it's actually a laminate, but it's one of the hardest, densest woods for a striker there is. So, and they'll play on almost any of those calls. We'll talk about how you condition them and that kind of thing, but you do need to, you have to take care of them. You don't want your fingers oil on the tips of them, that kind of thing. So, I don't know. Have we missed something? I'm sure we have. But we're running along in here anyway, so I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I've talked. I really didn't even want to talk. I was hoping you would do the talking because I sound like crap. All snotty. And
I feel like for the biggest part though, we have definitely called. We've covered the calls that we use, we own, we know.
Hey, if we've missed something you guys use, don't hesitate to let us know. We'll talk about it. Heck, if you want to talk about it, we can put you right on here with us. So, if we've misrepresented a call, you don't think we described it right or told people the proper thing, let us know. But anyway, I think for the purpose of what we're doing this for, I think it was probably pretty informative. Everything we've talked about, like I told you, Google it or YouTube it. You'll see it. You'll hear it. You'll know exactly what we're talking about. I think we're going to do at least one more part to this, where we'll demonstrate some calls, what they sound like. And, I was hoping to get a couple of beginner hunters in here and maybe let them ask some questions. I mean, it's not like we're the professors, but we have been doing it a long time. I tell everybody, this might not be the way it's supposed to be done, but this is the way I do it. And I've killed a lot of turkeys. I'm not saying I'm no turkey master, of any kind. I'm not Eddie Salter. I'm not Dave Owens. I'm not any of that. But I have killed turkeys. And that's what I love to do. I hadn't killed enough where I don't want to kill no more yet.
Me either.
Maybe one day I will. I don't know, but I'll never quit hunting them. I might do like a friend of mine's dad, just carry a camera. He'd call them up 20 yards, take their picture. That was his shot. So, anyway, I have run out of turkey call talk. What about you?
Yep. And anything that we come up with or y'all let us know, we'll try to cover it when we go over some of these calls next week or.
Well, yeah, for sure. Well,
or on the next episode anyway.
We're going to cover it, but, this thing's so far out. I don't know, but anyway, we're definitely, we're going to have one or two more of these. Like I said, we're going to do the calls. We'll really kind of finish it up. The different call sounds and the different way you play things. But, I do think we'll get a couple of young hunters in here and just see what they thought of this whole series, what kind of questions they have. Season will be well underway. So maybe they'll have some scenarios they were in where they were either successful or not successful. And, we can give them our opinion. We've been in a lot of spots.
By then we may know if we were successful or not.
Yeah.
Hopefully the kids.
Well, I'm hoping the kids this weekend. I'm not going to get to take my grandson, but this homegrown habitat class messed me up for Saturday. My granddaughter, she's going to go with my son-in-law. Basically y'all are going to be hunting almost together, but not together. So I hope to see I hope y'all send me some pictures. I hope by the time I'm through with this class at 2:00 on Saturday that I've got pictures from both of you guys with some proud kids.
I hope I'm bothering you at the class is what I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's what I am too.
Yep. Or when you get your first break, I hope you go, all right.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Trust me, I'll stop what I'm doing.
One thing I'll hit on these calls real quick before we get done. That way, if somebody wants to do some research, we were going to cover the different types of diaphragm calls.
Oh,
in case they want to look some of that up. So, just common cuts would be like a W cut, a split V.
Mm-hmm. Well, a W, isn't that a bat wing?
No, there's actually a bat wing also.
Okay.
Yep. You got, like I said, W cut, split V, cutter, bat wing, ghost wing, or ninja ghost.
Yep.
Combo cut, and a snake tongue.
Mm-hmm. We know who invented the snake tongue.
Yep. And that's pretty much, the most common.
I would say for a beginner, start with a double reed. I wouldn't go get no 3 or 4 reed. They're just harder to call with,
and there is a few kinds that make a single reed.
They do make a single reed. They're harder to find.
Yeah, they are.
But probably a double reed. I'd start with it. Maybe a ghost cut or V cut in it, something.
Or a bat wing, because you can run it right or left.
Yep. And you're going to buy them, and I can't make a sound with that one. Okay, we'll put it down and go get another cut.
I can't run a ghost cut, but you run crap out of one.
I love my ghost cut. It's one of my favorite ones.
I'm a right air channel, so.
Well, I found out on that combo cut, it's kind of a right hand cut combo.
Mm-hmm.
I play it better. But so anyway, the 3 I'll mainly use this year will be the ghost cut. I don't know what you call the hacksaw. It's kind of a V cut. It's kind of in there.
I guess you call it like a modified
V,
a modified cut, or whatever.
Anyway, it's 4 reeds,
mm-hmm.
and that combo cut, and you can look all these up. You can Google different diaphragm turkey call cuts, and you give you a whole list of them. Just look at them,
and it'll give you a little bit about each one.
But if you've never blown one, don't go buy one and go out in the woods and think you're going to call up a turkey, unless you're just a natural. Some people are.
Mm-hmm.
Probably old Dave Owens was a natural. He probably was making yelps with a nipple off his baby bottle. I don't know, when the mama was feeding him. But anyway, that's about everything I've got.
Yep.
And nothing else happening. Good luck for you guys. I know by the time this comes out, youth season will be well behind us, but it's actually coming up this weekend for us here in Alabama.
Adult season this week.
Adults, huh? What adult?
Wednesday.
Oh, it is. That's right. God, dog. And for some, it's Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you going?
I'm leaving Monday.
You sorry dog. Sorry dog. I'll be at work. But guess what?
Sounds like work may be getting me and you both, though, Thursday and Friday. I think I'm going to have to go back myself.
Well, I can't guarantee I'll be doing much work this time next year.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe. I ain't saying I'm not, but, every year I get older.
Yeah.
So, anyway. All right. Well, if nothing else, I say we get on out of here.
Yep.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys and gals in about a week. Till then, take care of your trees, because that's where the turkeys sleep.
shirt, tractor pulling out in the dirt, hot cup of coffee with a cigarette, pretty little thing sitting